What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BitShow episode 7. Today is July 9th. My name is Chris Mayer. I'm here from Boston Indies. Welcome to the show. I just got two quick announcements to kick things off, and then we'll get right into it. First up, Boston Indies and Women in Games Boston are going to be co-hosting Lightning Talks on July 20th. We have a bunch of great talks already lined up, but there are still a few spots if you want to get in there and give a 5 to 10 minute presentation about what you're working on, or a cool game development book you read recently or something. Whatever you're feeling. I'll post the link to the sign up form for that in just a minute. And also, this is not like super officially announced yet, but July 22nd, Josh Galecki is going to be doing another one of those demo night show don't tell Discord events. We're going to post that on the meetup page, which is at bostongamedev.com, probably in the next couple days. And that's also where you can find information about the Lightning Talks. Also, Boston Unity Group is going to be on July 29th. They haven't posted details, so I won't steal their thunder, but mark your calendars. And that's it. Let's start the show.
Intro!
Hey, Chiro.
Hey,
So
how you
nice to be
doing?
back here. I'm doing great. I'm looking to my left and I'm saying hi to you.
And I'm looking to my right, and I'm saying hi to you.
There we go. That works.
It kind of works.
I had to wait for the Twitch
Yep.
Twitch playback
Yep.
there to see that.
You didn't trust Chris when he
it's
told
nice to
us, because I didn't remember.
What about Chris?
I don't
think
know.
that's what
He's great. He's in the
Who's
back.
Chris?
Chris
All right.
Mayer.
Chris
who
is our wonderful producer. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
You can see this before. I've dressed especially today. I'm wearing my my Game Loop, most recent Game Loop Boston shirt in honor of Oleg making the tough call today to cancel it this year.
That is tough, but like everybody's dying of COVID, so
Yeah, I like Game Loop though. I'm looking forward to coming back. It's worth. I just want to, since we're not going to have it this year, I just want to hype it up so that people will be sure to do it next year. It's one of my favorites. It's something I've been sponsoring every year.
well, for folks that don't know about Game Loop, what is it?
Game Loop is an unconference where you everybody shows up. It's one day. You show up in the morning. You eat the sandwich. You say hi to people, and then you go into a room. There's some wacky introductions, and all 80 or whatever of you at that point pitch ideas for the talk the rest of the day, and then the rest of the day are the most voted for talks actually happening and getting together. And that's actually, I think, in no small part, this show is sort of a knockoff from a Game Loop meeting, where
I didn't know that. I thought this whole my recollection was that we were all drinking, and you said, "Hey, let's do Bit Show."
approximately, but we were drinking together and doing this. It's because the our beautiful Slack exists, Boston Game Dev Slack, right? That's what this is really centered around. And the Slack existed, but for a while, but there was this push to get more people into it, and that came out of Game Loop, where a lot of the community leaders had one session. Like, I don't remember the name of the session, but it was basically, we've got 1 million meetups and 1 million meetup pages and a bunch of different forums. What can we do to sort of condense things? And that's how we ended up with one meetup page for a lot of the Boston meetups, and how we started advertising everybody get into this Slack. And now we've got this show that revolves around it. So I think Game Loop played a good part in that.
Well, all right. Go to Game Loop, brainchild of Darius and Scott back in the day. Scott McMuffin, father of the Boston indie scene, as far as I think. I guess we also want to say, shout out to everybody in the chat. Say hello. If your username is something like Vermont Digital Arts, say who you are so that everybody knows that you're Elliot Mitchell of Vermont Digital Arts. I see Dan, I see Trevor, I see Kreth, I see a lot of folks in there. So hello and thank you for coming.
Yeah, good crowd. Ichiro, enough about me and my love for Game Loop. What are you up to?
According to our show notes, it says that I'm supposed to lie to you, which I do. I don't think I've ever lied to you, except when you were in on it. But I guess we're showing off a bunch of our games to Valve because it's good to talk to the platforms occasionally. And this kind of ties into something we were talking about earlier on the Slack, which is that Tanya Short, lead extraordinaire of Kitfox Games of Montreal, Canada, is essentially getting a bunch of folks together to talk to Valve and about what their games are doing, and hey, learn about my games so that so you can promote them on Steam, and then the Steam folks will tell the indies, like, here's how to make the best of Steam. So if you are not known to Valve and you have something that's coming out not too long from now, and would like me to, toss your name off into the Tanya hat to talk to Valve, let me know. My username is Deshaban over in the group chat.
Yeah, beautiful. This is our cozy substitute for in-person networking. It's happening here. This is we're living our little indie lives. We're still doing it here on the internet. I think we probably should have given the show outline. I feel like that's a thing that one's supposed to do at the top of a presentation.
Sorry,
say what you're gonna say. No, that's I got excited. Just wanted to ramble on. But we do have notes here that say we should say, which it's not a big outline. The outline for the show is shorter than my preamble here for giving the outline to the show. We're going to go through devlog once more in our bit showboating segment. Our guest today is the magnificent Jon Bellini, who's going to be talking to us about his game Alpha 1 and more. And then, of course, we're going to have our happy hour as usual, which is just everybody will join the very Zoom chat that Ichiro and John and I are in, and Chris are in right now. And we will shoot the shit and network some more and just generally relax at near the end of the week and get to know each other. So please stick around after the show. We'll be sending the Zoom link out.
And incidentally, even if you were a Bostonian but fled Boston to move to California, you are also welcome in the Zoom. I'm just saying that.
That's pretty specific. All right. I had the audio off for a thing. Did we play the new theme song? Can we get a nod from the producer?
Ugh. Our guest today, Jon Bellini, composed a wonderful new theme song for the I Am Taking Up Time, the bit show, and it's got a very luau feel, and it kind of like makes you feel really good about yourselves. And the camera is all it's on Ziba, so nobody can see me doing this with my fingers because Chris is busy looking for. So I'm just going to keep.
This is what Ichiro's doing.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it played. I don't know. We don't have the Twitch audio. I'm probably just talking over it.
No, I think people heard. Somebody said very Arrested Development. So
nice.
Awesome.
All right. All right. So more quality just bubbling out of our community. We'll get to Jon soon. But first, it's time for the bit showboating segment. What have people been posting in devlog? All right, let's kick it off. A very committed regular devlog poster who we appreciate, Michael Silverman. He posted a full 27-minute discussion about evolving the game design of Don't Shoot Yourself. And so the links there. All these, if you want to see them, you scroll up in devlog, you get there. And so I really appreciate him really making the effort to put out a lot about his thoughts about what's going on there. And that's keeps us all feeling less isolated. Sure, next one.
Yeah, next slide. So Saul posted a whole Twitter thread of bugs, which I think are actually features. So if you go to this Twitter link right here, you can see, quote unquote, here are a few bugs. So, tell him which ones you like, which ones you don't like, and, he'll keep some and lose others.
I love his cute little world building stuck to each bug. Makes me want to add world building to actually my bugs, like my code bugs.
Do you actually have any code bugs? I thought you were working in Unreal.
Have I ever? Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Jason Gertner's Floaty Fighters has a new Green Realm stage. See that on there? Yeah. I still haven't played that. I want to. We should. It looks like a good one. Play at happy hour at some point. Maybe we should all be in there doing some remote play on that. Looks like the right thing for some quick jump in multiplayer fun.
Looks good. Next up, we have Josh Jacobs, who is showing off a new boss in his early access shmup game, Super Chrome Bullet Purgatory. And I am going to post both the Twitter link and if you want to go to Steam and click on the wish list, the coming soon page. It looks pretty sweet.
And Michael Carrier, last item here. Michael Carrier showed off Zapdot's module environment pack. It's going to be headed towards the Steam Asset Store. Sorry, the Unity Asset Store. There's no Steam Asset Store. Yeah, it's one of those exciting. It's candles. It's just candles everywhere, illuminating everything. And no, it looks great. And knowing Zapdot's team, it's going to be immaculately constructed and
no bugs, no bugs.
Yeah, honestly, there's going to be no bugs. That's Michael's not indie enough. He doesn't fly by the seat of his pants enough. He's always putting out quality, polished work, and it makes me angry. Him and his whole team at Zapdot. What a terrible waste. Let's move on to something. Let's move on to our guest.
Should we have John on? Let's talk about John.
Now that you mention it, I do think we have this guy waiting in the wings. It's time for the intro. I feel like we could almost use another song or infographic when it's time for the guest or something. There's always that moment where the guest walks across the stage and the audience applauds.
Oh, that's a good point. You know? We're kind of so we're still trying to figure this out. So if you in the audience would make some noise for Jon Bellini.
Today's guest is the multi-talented Jon Bellini. He teaches, he codes, he composes, he designs, and he draws. Oh, and he organizes game jams too. Give a warm welcome again to Jon Bellini.
Just keep welcoming him.
Hey, how are you, John?
Pretty good. Things are good.
It's good to see you. You've been here with us at the show. I think you've seen every episode, which is
I've
probably
seen
more than I've seen.
Inception.
So
quite something.
And now you're part of it with your beautiful theme song that we almost played in the right order.
You almost played.
It's in beta. It's early access theme song.
I wasn't really done with it. I just said, here's a version that I'll just give you guys. It's good enough for now.
It's good enough for you.
It was lacking sound.
Are you giving more polished work to other shows? Is that what's going on?
No, but you need like an end theme. You need maybe a loop that goes on while giving the news out, like something.
Yeah.
All
right. We need a whole lot of audio production. I'm so glad you just volunteered 40 hours of your time.
Sweet.
And the unsung Chris Mayer, he's going to have to produce it all behind the scenes. So
yeah, I mean, at any point, Chris, if he's starting to feel unsung, he can just start to superimpose his name over every shot. That's a thing he can do. Really.
Well, it's Chris Mayer's Bit Show with Chris Mayer and Ziba Mayer and Chris.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
He could start cutting to advertisements for his own stuff at any time. He has all the control there.
That's true.
Yeah,
true.
It's not like our sponsors are going to get mad. So back to John. John, you're teaching at Montserrat College. What are you teaching these days?
I'm teaching this semester. I'm teaching a sound design class. Starting, we don't know how it's going to happen, but last semester I taught a 2D game design class, and usually I go back and forth between game design and I'm on a 3-class rotation: 3D game, 2D game, and sound design. So no, not they do have 4D art. They do have 4D. Don't ask me really what it is though.
Mega Cure, remember that?
Yeah. Well, so the 3D is usually like Unreal or Unity or something, and then 2D I just always teach Construct because it's easy because it's all art students. They're not programmers.
So when you go into Unreal, it's all blueprints, and for Unity, are they?
Yeah, it's all blueprints, but Unity's fun because then we do C#. So we start the semester where I teach them with I use a Replit. Does anyone ever you ever hear of that? REPL.IT.
No.
So it's such a cool site. You can set up a classroom, and it's all free, and they have a bunch of languages. They have everything.
Cool.
And C# one of them. So then I just start them with that. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. So, and I was talking to you earlier about how you ended up doing this teaching, and I thought it was a really interesting story of how you turned sort of this. You had this pain of relative isolation. You weren't right down in Boston. You wanted to be with more people, and you went sort of made this journey from isolation to jamming to a job.
Yeah. I've done game jams and stuff. I've gone into Boston, but I moved to the North Shore, so um, it's kind of a hike. I mean, I'm from the city, but we moved a little bit north. So then when I kept going to these game jams and the FIG, the festival for indie games, it just felt like there was nothing up here, up in this neck of the woods. So I just did like a meetup.com, and I mean, I'm used to it. When I composed music for years, I was always by myself.
Yeah. So you
So
made
I
a meetup.
just,
Did you name it something fun, or did you just?
I did, it was North Shore game something. I don't know. I don't even know what it was.
So Boston is a very literal town.
Yeah,
It
we
is
are.
Boston, not to pick on Michael, who's not
Yeah.
here today, but that's fine. It's the Boston indies scene with the Boston game development. We need something crazy like, I don't know, like Moon Crimes or something.
Ooh,
Yes,
I
we
like
do.
that.
Oh,
I like
you do
that.
like that.
But
You're stoking a debate that we've had about the validity or the quality of the name Moon Crimes. I'm glad you unknowingly came down on my side on that one. But
Well,
we're
he didn't want to be negative on pulp because this is going to be on YouTube for everybody to see. So if he was negative about it, then we named it Moon Crimes. They'd be like, "Oh shit! Now all of Boston Moon Crimes hates me."
3 years from now, when Moon Crimes is running everything. I just noticed on the Twitch stream we've got double Johns.
yeah, I noticed that too.
I like that.
There's two of me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah,
I can't talk to myself.
So you formed a meetup with a literal name like all of ours are, and who showed?
Yeah. So I said meetup. I put it on meetup.com, like looking for people on the North Shore, that do game dev, because you really need other people for game dev. You really do need other people. I mean, you need other people for any kind of creative endeavor like this, like art and music and everything like that. But I really felt isolated, because I think that the thing about game dev is, like, you have these long tunnels of like nothing. And I mean, obviously I have to say, like, shows like this is a great, it's a great pat on the back, but you don't get any of that, because by the time you release a game, it's like, it's so long out. So you really do need a sense of community, because you're just in this long tunnel and there's no light, and you need people to talk to.
I particularly appreciate that sentiment coming from you, because you're someone who actually can do everything yourself to a good degree
that's
of
true.
quality.
Let's talk about what John has done. Like, so you used to be, heavy duty coding back, database stuff, back end stuff, right? And then you're
Yes.
like, well, why don't I get a degree in music? So you went to Berkeley and you learned how to do music, and now you're like, oh, I'm just going to do. Are you doing the art for Alpha One?
Yeah, I mean, I had some people help me, but yeah, I pretty much it's all mine now. So.
Okay, so basically, what you are saying to us is that we can't do a game by ourselves, but you probably have all the skills necessary to do that.
So he determined the game dev couldn't survive without him, so he formed a meetup and
Right,
invited people to come and
and
work
it was
with him.
starring me, right? Yes.
Yeah.
No, but you need other people to just you need some. I mean, my wife is not into. She doesn't even like games, and I'm always like, you got to look at this. You got to look at this. You got to, or she's really smart. She's chemical engineer degree. She does stuff like that. I ask her math questions all the time, and she's like, oh, what is this now? There'll be some crazy math thing I'm trying to do, and I'm like, how do I do this? But anyways, yeah. So I set up the meetup, and no one came except for the chair of the Montserrat animation department and all her students, and she was teaching them Unity. They showed up, and so it was the chair of the department with like 5 students, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And I was like, and so it was just, and I said, we were just talking, and I was just saying, oh, I want to, get the game scene up here going. And I said, let's do a game jam, or we should do a game jam. She's like, what's a game jam? And so I had to kind of tell her what that is, and then she was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And we just happened to look into global game jam, and I said, let's just hook into that thing. That's easy. It's already set up. So then, which was kind of funny because she's the chair of the department, but she totally put it all on me. She's like, well, you do it all here. You just
leader delegates.
So she's just and she always does that because she has this. It's funny. She's the chair. She's great, but she's like the chair of the department, but she doesn't really like to like talk and do stuff. And I'm like, I don't either. She's like, you do it. So I had to just do it all. And then that was 2015. And that jam turned into like it was all students. So then I just had to help them all in Unity. And I just had to help them all. And she goes, hey, you should just teach this. And I said, well, I guess I could. So then the first semester I taught with her, and then I just took it over. So ever since then. So
awesome. And you're still running this this jam site about 5 years later. You're still
so we just had our 5th 2020 was and everywhere. I mean, we haven't gotten past like 40 people or so. That was like the most.
That's a pretty good number. I mean, how many like I can't imagine a jam site with like 400 people and smelly. I can't. I can't even imagine. But it's funny around here. I have to tell people what a game jam. Like they don't know what it is. They like I went because there's the 5 colleges around here. Like Endicott and Salem State. I had to like go to the schools and talk to all the students, and they all kind of do game design stuff. A lot of them play around with engines and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna feed you all weekend. It's free. And you get to meet people and you get to play your game in front of everyone. We have a big like room. We, have a projector. And so
nice.
It's a good time.
Well, so is this what resulted in you doing Alpha 1 or were you doing it? I guess I know the answer to this. Talk about Alpha 1.
Well, Alpha 1 started, I guess that started before. And then I kind of canned it. And then the more I taught, I know this from music as well. Like when I went to Berkeley, I tutored, and it was so amazing to tutor because as you're tutoring, you're learning the basics all over again. And so the same thing happened in game dev. I knew basics about programming, but then teaching it, you just reinforce those solid foundation. And then I just took the old Alpha 1 and I was like, wait, I can just strip away all this stuff and then just try to concentrate on my actual vision for the game.
So give us that Alpha 1 pitch.
Yeah, let's hear the pitch because not everybody knows what it is.
So the pitch, and I don't have it practiced. So I know you've had other guests that say it like that, but I don't have it practiced. But I recently started thinking of it as an action shooter that's like a board game, but in between the piece moves, you play an action asteroids type game, and then outside of it, it's more strategic, and it's like a board game, and it's like turn based.
If the game's like asteroids, what's the board game like?
The board game is like Master of Orion or Civ.
Yeah, I want to say, when I played it, I thought like it had a little bit of a light FTL vibe to it. Maybe a little more action.
FTL is an interesting, but that's all turn based. But I the map part of it I see, but the 4X genre of expanding and exploiting, and although there is no exploiting technically right now. Expand, I can't even remember them now.
Expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate.
Exterminate, right?
Bam.
So I had the 3, and I was going to coin the term 3X.
Oh, okay.
No one wants the 3X. You need the 5X or the 6X. You can't do it's like the 7-minute abs. Anyways, but yeah, so that's my pitch. I don't have it down yet.
So you've been having a lot of people play it in the community and getting a whole lot of feedback. I played it. It's really cool. But you're getting a lot of feedback. How are you handling getting all of this feedback?
The feedback is It's interesting. Well, the first thing about feedback, though, is I mean, I learned this way back in like music school. Any kind of art, you have to just detach yourself from it, and it's not like who you are. It's not about that. It's you can't take it personally, and you can't really.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. I sort of feel like you're going to lead up to, and everybody loved it.
No, no, absolutely not. It's more like you need to just listen to what people are saying, and like they might even say something that they don't understand. So you have to read between the lines and go, oh, okay, I know why they think that. Or, you know what I mean? You need to like.
Well, what if people said? I mean, like, so I want to hear because I played it, I loved it, I thought it was great.
I have a whole spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I got.
No, I don't want to hear the whole spreadsheet. I just want to hear
I'm just saying I have it all. Yeah, the main thing is that people don't know what to do. Like they're lost, and it's interesting. I compare game design as like, you know, like you're like, it's like you're a tunnel digger and you're making this network of tunnels, and you're way down in the tunnels, and then you come out and go, hey, come see my tunnel, and they don't even know how to get in. They don't understand it. You know what I mean? They don't really, and you're like, you don't understand that they don't understand it because you don't see it. So that's the best part of it is fresh eyes. I used to do the same thing in the music where you listen to tracks over and over. I mean, even that little ditty that I did, I listened to it for a couple hours straight. I couldn't get it out of my mind when I left. You get used to it though, but like you need to hear, like I used to do this thing where I would write music and then I would hear it for 8 hours straight, and you couldn't even hear. You don't even know, is it good anymore?
Yeah.
You don't even know.
I think like a term like semantic satiation for that, or
I don't know that term.
Okay, well we'll look it up before we find it. But Ziba has a blindside question for you. He's got right up.
Limb here. So you're creating the sci-fi world. You're not just doing mechanics. You're creating a world with spaceships and some sort of plot and coherency. And so the question is, what's important to you in crafting that? But specifically, I have you online enough to know that you have strong opinions about J.J. Abrams.
This man hates J.J. Abrams.
So what did he do wrong, and what are you going to do better?
Oh no, J.J. Abrams. I actually am a big fan of J.J. Abrams. I do like his. I actually like his style. I love his whole like the thing in the box, like that's like the mystery. Like a closed box is like the best thing in the world. But he didn't know what Star Trek was, and he even said he only saw like 2 episodes. So,
and that's a bad thing to say to a Star Trek fan. That's like a big F you.
And Vulcans had emotions, like, because he didn't know. I don't blame him, but he didn't know, and so I upset. I don't know how you know that. That's kind of creepy.
It's on Twitter. You put it on
when you go SoundCloud. It has like the history of your comments, your music.
My SoundCloud, right?
You're arguing this online, somebody.
I actually, so you all know Tim Keenan. Actually, you know the older generation of indies know Keenan, who's a Bostonian, probably the most Bostonian of all of us. Now moved to California and now works for J.J. Abrams, the interactive division of Bad Robot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put John in touch with Tim so that he can directly, like, so Tim refers to J.J. Abrams as just J.J. J.J. So that's how, you know, they're pretty close right now. You will now be able to tell J.J. that he is, I think in your words, trash.
No. He's not trash, but he offended the Trekkie in me.
Okay, that's reasonable.
He offended me, but he's and then he did the whole lens flare thing. Like people were like, "What are you doing?" And he even admitted that he went a little nuts with the lens flare. He just
Chris,
much.
You got a lens flare on hand? Chris, you got a lens flare? Joe has one.
There we
go.
Guys.
Phasers to stun, man. Oh, we can't take it anymore.
Right.
Chris needs to move to
the show has peaked.
Chris is not moving to the camera, so nobody can see the lens flare. There we go. All right.
Of me.
All right. So, John, wrapping up. What's next for you in Alpha One?
What's next for me? I have to just assimilate all this data that I've gotten from people, and just work on. I got to keep doing the testing. I just need another round of testing. So I got some really valuable feedback, and then I have some other people lined up, and I'm just setting them. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll send you a build in a little bit when I put some of these changes in, just any of those corrections are made, because I've heard some repeat issues, especially those I want to knock out and make sure. And I don't really know until I have someone play it. And it's almost great online because I'm not there to then go, oh, this is that thing. And you taint it. It's nice to have someone like play it without you tainting it and them just saying what they think. So it's kind of cool in a way. It's a silver lining in COVID.
Yeah, good, awesome. Well, we're going to be seeing more of it in devlog, and can follow you. Where should people be doing follow you aside from for harassing you in Slack? Yeah, you call out a Twitter or
Twitter? Yeah, Twitter. I only use for game dev stuff. I try away from politics and all that stuff. I just try to just do game dev. People I know like will message me on there, and I don't reply to them. I'm like, this is just for game dev.
AJ replies about your hatred of his movie, and you're like,
I try not to.
This is an inappropriate forum, JJ Abrams. Not discussing this here with you. This is for my game business only.
JJ.
Hey, you know, right. Almost got away without mentioning this show.
JJ Abrams
is Luigi.
Hey.
Okay, I'm done.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's to be interviewed by someone that won a BAFTA. Absolutely. That's
I did not mention Ziba's. Notice I didn't.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I want to point out that Ziba is actually using the Dom Perignon box that was the celebratory thing for his BAFTA winning for his microphone stand right now. So he really brought it up this time. It had nothing to do with me.
Not. Oh, what even filter out? I'm generally not. I try not to be that tacky.
Oh my goodness!
It was the closest box.
No,
it was the right size to prop up.
I get it. Well, shall we wrap up?
Yeah, we're at time. So thank you, John. We got our wrap up here, which is everybody should go to the Play Games channel in the Slack and play games with each other. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yep. Yeah, Deep Rock Galactic is what we're doing right now. So if anybody wants to hop in, it's essentially Minecraft with combat and dwarves and spaceships and drinking. You drink in the game, and it's awesome.
Great. Keep posting in devlog, and that's our show. I'm going to throw over to Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, John. Thanks,
Thank
Jared. Thanks, everybody.
All right, and that's going to do it for our show. No demo this week. Sorry, we'll be back next week with some wacky thing, I'm sure. If you have a fun talent or modded Game Boy collection or whatever that you want to show to the community, drop me a message on Slack, drop a message in the chat over there, and we'll get you on the show. What else? Oh yeah, all right. I'm going to post the link to the Zoom call in the Slack in just a minute, but thanks everyone for joining us. See you next week. Let's go!